What's going on, guys? Squillscards back here with another video, and today I got another part of the top 15 prospects for every MLB organization heading into 2026. And today I got the Seattle Mariners. So let's get into it. At number 15, I got Jared Sundstrom. Jared Sundstrom's power and encouraging contact results in 2024 should have set him up for a strong 2025, but instead he took a step back. Sundstrom still generated above average exit velocities, but swing and miss issues cropped up across the board with all his miss, chase, and end zone whiff rates, increasing to a career worst 29.7% strikeout rate. He has a long swing that causes him to chop over breaking balls and struggle with fastball timing. Well, he does run well and stole 35 bases on 39 attempts in 2025. He spent the bulk of his time in the corners of the outfield. The future for Sundstrom, has a lot of power potential, so it makes him appealing, but he's going to need to make adjustments and search for more contact to make it work. At number 14, got a youngster and Leandro Romero. Leandro Romero returned to the Mariners' Dominican complex with added moxie in 2025, cutting his strikeout rate to 22% and upping his exit velocities. Seattle initially asked him to emphasize contact over power, and he adjusted quickly before earning the green light to let it eat later, touching 110-mile-per-hour exit velocities. At the high performance camp in Peoria, he can struggle to time up fastballs and tends to be late against premium velocity, with a swing more geared to do damage at the bottom half of the zone. He's a strong infield defender, and he has fluid actions, a low center of gravity, and a strong arm with quick, confident release. The future for Romero, he's going to make a stateside debut in the Arizona Complex League in 2026, and he has second division regular upside if he can find the right blend of contact and power against better pitching, which he will face. At number 13, we have a new 2026 international signing, Juan Rijo. He hits from the left side with a clean, efficient swing featuring a quick barrel turn and consistent balance through contact. He shows advanced pitch recognition and keeps the barrel in the zone with a short, direct path, allowing him to use all fields. His offensive profile points to high on-base potential, and added strength has begun to show up in his ability to drive the ball to his pull side. He has a present bat speed and remaining physical upside, but is an average runner who may lose a step as his frame continues to mature. And he profiles best defensively in the corner to outfield. The future for Rijo will start in the Dominican Summer League with a strong performance ideally, and he could be invited to the Mariners' high-performance camp in Peoria at the end of the year. At number 12, we got Luis Suezbel. Luis Suezbel's solid power has become a bigger part of his game as he's packed more strength onto a 6'1" frame. The switch hitter works from an upright stance with a small forward stride and an uppercut swing that plays well and pitches down in the zone. And he feasted on right-handed pitching in 2025, with 19 of his homers coming as a left-handed hitter. Suezbel is a very aggressive hitter who ran an elevated chase rate, mostly against spin, and struck out 27.5% of the time in high A while producing below average contact rates. He's a capable defender at third base, though his physicality may eventually push him to first base if he continues to get bigger. The future for Luis Suezbel, he's going to need to develop better bat-to-ball skills to maximize his power, and there's pressure on his bat as a corner-only profile. The 22-year-old is ready for the upper minors, though, in 2026. At number 11, I got Brock Rodden. He's a 5'7" who has 5'7" frame who has surprising power and belted 14 homers in 2024. While injuries limited him to just 5 homers in 2025, he still managed an above average 104.5 mile per hour 90th percentile exit velocity and a 32.4% air pull rate. A switch hitter, most of his power comes from the left side, though he tends to chase especially with two strikes and can be beat by better fastballs. Defensively, he splits time between second, short, and third. With this average range and solid arm suggesting second base is his natural position, though he did add versatility is only going to help his cause. If he had stayed healthy, Rodden had a shot to reach the majors in 2025. He should begin 2026 in AAA and profiles as a solid utility option. Getting into the top 10 now, you got Corbin Dickerson, recent draft pick in this past year's draft class. He's got a lot of strength. He had a huge breakout season at Indiana University, and he's got a 6'1", 205-pound frame. He had high exit velocities of getting up to 109.8 miles per hour, 90th percentile exit velocity, with a strong 25.6 barrel rate. He starts from a crouched stance before unleashing a quick, powerful swing with natural feel for the barrel. His approach can get overly aggressive with a 27% chase rate and an 82% zone contact rate that were both below average. And his 42.1% ground ball rate limited some of his impact. He runs well and takes efficient routes in the outfield and has room to grow physically. Corbin Dickerson should start 2026 in the lower minors, and he needs to work on cutting down his chase rate. At number 9, we have Ty Pete, whose left-handed swing is built for a lot of power. He showed it by hitting 19 home runs as he grew into his frame, 12 more than his previous high. However, swing and miss concerns remain a barrier as he struck out 162 times in consecutive seasons, including a 32% overall miss rate in 2025, with a 25.3% in zone and 27% chase rate. Breaking balls give him the most trouble, though he handles velocity well. Originally a shortstop who moved around the infield, the Mariners transitioned him to the outfield in 2025, a change he has adapted to well and is now considered one of the stronger emerging outfielders in the system. The future for Pete, he's going to need to reduce his whiff rate. That'll be key to unlocking his upside. If he refines his approach, he could see a stock rise in 2026. He's going to likely start in high before advancing to Double-A. At number 8, Yorger Batista, young outfielder that has a 6'1", 176-pound frame. He's a left-handed hitting outfielder with an unconventional uppercut swing that has 25 homer upside. The power comes with swing and miss concerns, though, especially within the strike zone. And scouts found him over-aggressive early in counts as he hunted impact. Evaluators were mixed on his defensive work in the DSL. Some saw enough speed and instincts to stick in center field, while others questioned his mobility and route running, suggesting a corner outfield move. His plus arm strength rounds out a well-balanced skill set and can handle any outfield spot. He was also 10 for 10 on stolen bases. The future for Batista, he has time to make some adjustments, which he will do in the Arizona Complex League in 2026, though he could take a second turn in the DSL. At number 7, the catcher, Luke Stevenson from North Carolina. He's a strong defensive catcher whose advanced instincts set him apart, regarded as one of the premier defensive backstops in his draft class. He brings natural leadership, presence, and a mature game calling ability with subtle pitch framing that consistently earns extra strikes. At the plate, Stevenson has above-average left-handed power, but there are more questions about his ability to make contact, particularly against premium velocity, which contributed to his draft day slide out of the first round. Stevenson made an encouraging amount of contact with Loe Modesto in his pro debut while showing his trademark patience, though he'll need to show more feel to hit against upper minors pitchers. The future for Luke Stevenson, he has an elite glove, high baseball IQ, and a power potential provide a strong foundation. He has everyday catcher upside if his contact ability takes a step forward in pro ball, and it shouldn't be long before he reaches high A Everett. At number 6, first-round draft pick Nick Becker. His athleticism shows up immediately. He's a plus runner who turned in a 6.65 second 6-yard dash at the 2024 East Coast Pro Showcase. That speed paired with smooth actions, clean footwork, and an average arm gives him the chance to stick at shortstop, where he profiles more as a steady, reliable defender than a flashy one. Offensively, he offers a clean, efficient swing and the makings of an above-average hit tool, starting from a slightly open stance with good rhythm and an advanced feel for the strike zone. His frame and athletic projection leave room for average power as he physically matures. The future for Becker, he should start his season in low A, and he's one of the young, bright talents the system has to offer. Getting into the top 5, starting off with Felnin Celestin. He's a constant tinker at the plate who frequently experiments with the depth of his crouch and the size of timing in his leg kick. A switch hitter with largely consistent mechanics from both sides. His left-handed swing is more fluid, and he projects to have at least fringe average hit tool thanks to letting the ball travel and a mature approach that uses the opposite field. His pitch recognition is advanced for his age because he tracks pitches deep, rarely expands the zone, and shows a strong feel for spin. On the bases, he's a plus runner with a long, explosive strides and efficient routes. And defensively, he checks every box to stick at shortstop with quick lateral movements, soft hands, and a strong arm. The future for Celestin should start the 2026 season back at high A Everett. He's still young, and the pop could develop more as his body develops. And he has what it takes to be a productive everyday player with the right pace. And number 4, outfielder Johnny Formello. He has a somewhat unconventional setup with a crouch stance that elevates his elbows and a bat in the left-handed batter's box, leading to a stiffer look. His posture can make him vulnerable to premium velocity, especially up in the zone where he's occasionally late, and his swing and miss rates in the strike zone have raised some concern. Formello cut his chase rate in a limited sample size in 2025 and has shown flashes of improved bat speed and barrel control, which the Mariners hope will trend upward with more reps. After returning from injury, his double-plus speed remained intact, allowing him to continue covering ground in center field where he should be at least a solid average defender. Formello is expected to return to high A to begin 2026. The Mariners hope he can bounce back after his first full healthy offseason, and he profiles as a top-of-the-order threat. At number 3, Michael Arroyo. After transitioning from second base to the outfield, Michael Arroyo has hit 40 home runs in 2024 and 2025 combined. Despite being just 5'8", because he stands right at the top of the plate and uses his quick hands, short levers, and a balanced stride to deliver the barrel. He has advanced plate discipline, excellent plate coverage, and impressive bat control, generating above-average exit velocities. With a knack for pulling the baseball, those scouts noted his body might be close to maxed out. He thrives against breaking pitches and has solid pitch recognition, but can struggle with timing against fastballs. Arroyo played shortstop early in his career before moving to second base, and then they're planning to move him to the outfield going into the season. Arroyo is expected to return to Double-A to open up the 2026 season. At number 2, outfielder Lazar Montes. Lazar Montes' calling card is his elite raw power, one of the highest in the minor leagues. Every swing is geared to do damage, and the ball often leaves the yard when he connects. He had the highest 90th percentile exit velocity of any Mariners minor leaguer in 2025. Though his aggressive approach leads to swing and miss issues, with an overall miss rate around 38% and plenty of end zone misses. After experimenting with a more contact-oriented approach in 2024 that suppressed his power, the Mariners shifted him back to a damage-focused philosophy in 2025 that aligns better with his natural skills. And while he strikes out plenty, he also has solid plate discipline and walked at a 14.2% clip. Defensively, Montes has the strongest arm in the system, but is limited defender in right field. After finding Double-A more challenging in 2025, Montes will likely return to the level to start 2026. He has 30-homer upside in the majors, which should help him find a way onto the lineup even if his corner outfield defense comes up short. And the number one prospect I have for the Seattle Mariners going into the 2026 season is Colt Emerson. Colt Emerson's well-balanced left-handed swing and a mature approach impress evaluators, as his barrel stays in the zone for a long time, enabling him to hit line drives to all fields. In 2025, Emerson slugged a career-high 16 home runs, quadrupling his previous season's totals, and saw his 90th percentile exit velocity improve by 2 miles per hour as he continues to physically develop, projecting to hit upward of 15 to 20 homers annually in the big leagues. He has added noticeable strength since signing, has begun tapping into power without compromising his high-level plate discipline, with his 17.5% strikeout rate nearly mirroring his 2024 output despite facing stiffer competition. Emerson's growth wasn't limited to the batter's box. He also showed defensive improvement at shortstop, where he could become an above-average defender thanks to his strong instincts, looking more confident and fluid with his arm having enough carry to stick at the position. The future for Emerson: the Mariners aren't an organization that rushes players, so some extra seasoning at Double-A could be in store for Emerson before a full-time AAA residency. He played primarily shortstop, but staying versatile at third base will help his chances of getting into the lineup quicker, and his all-around skill set makes him one of the game's best prospects. So that's the top 15 for the Seattle Mariners. Thank you guys for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.